Okay, we are here at GoToMath.com, starting a new section, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. That's what we want to go down and take a look at. And we'll click on 1.1. So what do we got here? We got 7x to the fourth over 13y to the fourth times y to the 10th over x to the sixth. Alright. So it says perform the indicated operations, in this case particular operations, multiplication and simplify. Okay, so we'll rewrite all that. 7x to the fourth over, trying to get a grip on my pen here, 13y to the fourth, and then that dot right there is multiplication, and we have y to the 10th over x to the sixth. Okay, so basically all this means is we're multiplying the numerator times the numerator here and the denominator times the denominator. However, we'll want to cancel out some terms really before we even do that. So as you can see here, we've got 4x's in the numerator and 6x's in the denominator. I guess I should just go ahead and write it like this. Y to the 10th, just joining both numerators and then the denominator. Y to the fourth times x to the sixth. And so as you can see here, we're going to be able to cancel out all four of the x's in the numerator and all four of the y's in the denominator. We'll go ahead and write equals 2 here. And the 7 and 13 is not going to reduce down, so we'll just do that. Now we have 4 y's in the denominator and 10 in the numerator, so we're going to cancel 4 of those out, and that'll be left with only 6 y's, or y to the 6 I should say, and then we'll have 13 x and then squared, right? So we're going to cancel 4 out in the numerator, 4 out in the denominator, and that'll leave us with 2 x's in the denominator. And that's as far as we'll be able to go with that. 7y to the sixth over 13x squared. Okay, so we'll see over here, go to math, see you at the next problem. Okay, we're here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra, just go down to multiplying and dividing rational numbers. Click on 1.2. And let me scribble this down. We got 6x to the 7th over 18 negative y to the 4 times negative y to the 9 over x to the 16th. Alright, we got it. So 6x to the 7th over 18 negative y to the 4th, and that's times negative y to the 9th over x to the 16th. Huh. Okay. I don't know. I was looking at something there. Alright, we'll find out here in a minute. We have the 6 and the 18 obviously can reduce down. We got 6 goes into 6 one time, and 6 goes into 18 3 times. Goes into 18 3 times. Okay? And what else we got going on here? Okay, so I'm just going to write it like this first. We'll go ahead and just reduce that part, and then we'll just rewrite. So we drop the dot and multiply the numerators and the denominators together. Alright, I'm going to take this x to the 16th up here to the top. This is kind of refresh your memory. Remember, becomes a negative. Now let's take a look at this. We have a negative number raised to a odd number, a negative, for example. Remember, this is equal to a negative 1. If this were a positive number, then it'd be a positive 1. Okay, but it's an odd number. All right, so that can just be reduced down to y to the ninth. But now remember, it's negative. Let's just take that negative and bring it out to the front there. Okay, and then what do we got going on down here? We'll just go ahead and just rewrite this. So this is a negative raised to a positive, so that's going to go away, and we're going to be left with y to the fourth. Now we could have went ahead and took the y to the fourth up here to the numerator if we wanted to, but one thing at a time. So we have 2 minus 16, that's going to be x to the negative 14, and then y to the ninth. Let's just go ahead and take that other y up to the top here, no sense in getting in a hurry. And simplifying this down, so we have, we'll just go ahead and write that with the negative exponent for right now. And so this is going to end up being, what is this, 5? 5. But we don't want to write our answer with negative exponents, so let's go ahead and do this. Over x to the 14th. X to the 14th, so all that stuff reduced down to that, huh? Okay, so we got a negative out front, y to the 5th, and x to the 14th. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What did I forget here? 6, yeah, well, we forgot to add that. 6 goes, that's 3. There should be a 3 down here in the denominator. 6 goes into 6 one time. 6 goes into, so I'm not sure how I let that slip by. This would be all over 3. Wow. What a mess. I'm sure some of you out there was like, hey, whoa, what happened to the 3? Yeah, well, that's what happens sometimes when you get in a hurry. Okay, I'm getting something. Whoops. Where are we at here? Ah. How'd that happen? Must be asleep at the wheel. That is a 7, and how it morphed into a 2, I don't know. That stuff drives me crazy. 7 minus 16, so 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. I'd normally make this video over, but I've already done it once because the computer shut down on me. So, okay, negative y to the 5th over 3x to the 9th power. Negative y to the 5th over 3x to the 9th power. There it is. Alright. So, keep me straight on that. Okay, so we're over here at GoToMath.com. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing rational numbers, and we're looking at 2.1. 2.1. Alright. So we got 3x to the 8th t cubed over y to the 4th times y to the 14th x to the 9th. That's over 13t to the 6th power. Alright, make sure we got all that written down. Y to the 4th, got it. Alright, so let's try not to make any mistakes here this time. 3x to the 8th t cubed over y to the 4th times y to the 14th times x to the 9th, and that's all over 13 t to the 6th. 13t to the 6th. So when we go to multiply, we just multiply the numerators when we're doing multiplication and then multiply the denominators. However, we could go through and start canceling some stuff out even before we do that. So we're trying to skip some of these intermediate steps. First off, 3 can't go into 13, nor is there a number that goes into 3 or 13 other than 1, so that's not going to reduce down any at all. But we got 4 y's down here in the bottom and 14 up here in the top. So we can actually rewrite this as y to the, subtracting 4 off up here, y to the 10th power. Okay, and then what else we got going on here? Let's see. There's a t cubed up in the numerator, a t to the 6th, so we're going to be able to cancel some t's out, and that's going to end up making that t to the 3rd down here. We got 3 t's, cancel 3 out down here, and you're going to be left with 3. We got x to the 8th, x to the 9th. Alright, well, let's do some rewriting now. So we're going to add the exponents. That's going to make that x to the 17th. And we're going to have y to the 10th over, and it looks like 13t cubed down here in the denominator. Okay, that looks like that's what's going to happen there. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on here. The answer. Hopefully it agrees. 3x to the 17th, y to the 10th, and 13t cubed. Before I show you the answer, I want to make sure it's right. Yeah. Alright, there it is. So we're over here at gotomath.com, practicing some operations there on rational numbers and rational expressions, and seeing the next problem. Alright, click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing rational expressions. We're looking at 2.2. What a mess. What a mess this looks like. We're going to clean it up though. We got 2 times negative x to the 4th times t to the, or t squared over y squared times, and then we have y to the 7th x to the 10th over 18 times negative t raised to the 11th power. Alright, everybody got that? Do we have it? So 2 times negative x to the 4th and t squared. We may shuffle some things around on this problem before we start getting into it. Y to the 7th, I always like to look at things in a different light. Sometimes helps to better understand maybe what you're doing. Okay. So we got a multiplication here, 2 rational expressions, and so you want to multiply the numerators together and then the denominators. Right. So we're going to take a few extra steps on this problem. And then we got times y to the 7th, x to the 10th. And of course that's all over. And let's take this 18 and bring it out over here. Y squared and then negative t to the 11th power. Now as you can see here, we have a 2 and an 18 for the coefficients, and 2 goes into 18, right? So 2 goes into 2 one time, goes into 18, 9, so we'll be able to change that to 1/9. And what else can we do here? We don't have any x's. You know what? Let's go ahead and take care of this. We've got a negative, and of course it's in parentheses here, raised to the 4th power, And remember, a negative 1 raised to an even power is just going to give us back a 1 here. So we're going to be able to rewrite this with x to the 4th, right, which is x to the 4th, because that negative is just going to disappear. And I'm going to go ahead and shuffle this x to the 10th over here to the right, left I mean. Let's do that. Okay. Now we have t squared, nothing new there, y to the 7th. We have, you know what, let's do this. Well, hold on. Yeah, I'm going to write this t squared here. Let's take a look at this. We've got a negative, but it's raised to an odd power, and that means we're going to be able to take a negative out front. So this is going to be equal to negative 1, so that means it's going to be negative 1 times t to the 11th power. But let's take this negative and bring it out front, but then actually let's just kind of take it and put it there. Okay, and also what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this t to the 11th to the top, which is going to make that t to the negative 11. Okay, and what else we got? We got this y squared here. So we have y to the 7th, just rewriting that, and I'm going to take this y squared to the top. So that's going to make that y to the negative 2. Alright, what's going to be left down here? I guess we'll just leave a 9 down here, that 9 right there. Alright. So we're taking kind of a detour here. So what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to add their exponents. It's going to make that a 14. Add the exponents to, and that's going to make that a negative 9, right? Yeah. And then we have 7 minus 2. That'll make that a y to the 5th power. And of course, that's all over 9. Right. Now, what do we got going on? We want to write this with positive exponents. T to the 9th power. All right, just take that down to the denominator. There you go. X to the 14th, y to the 5th over 9 times t to the 9th power. Okay. Man, stuff's getting crazy. T to the 9th power, right? Just making sure. Okay. So over here, go to math.com, get it figured out. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here, go to math.com, click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing, rational expressions, and I think we're over here doing 3.1. Okay, what do we got? We got x cubed over 14y to the 10th times 5y cubed times x cubed. Got it. We got it. Got something. X cubed over 14y to the 10th times 5y, and this looks like all this is in parentheses, cubed times x cubed. Okay, so we look at this and this might be confusing for somebody. Remember, this stuff really is kind of all over 1. Okay, you can think of it that way. So remember, we multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators when we're doing multiplication. All right. So we're going to write it like this for right now. Times x cubed over 14y to the 10th power. Okay. This, we have an x cubed and an x cubed, so we can join those together, and that makes that an x to the 6th power, right? We add the exponents. Now, what's going on here? Well, we've got 5, do a little side work over here. This can be written as 5 cubed times y cubed. And what is 5 cubed? 125. let's see, that's 25 times 5, right? It's 125. I'm like, wow, losing my mind. Okay, 125 y cubed, and we can take this y up into the numerator, so it becomes y to the negative 10. And remember, this is all over 14. So we're getting there, getting somewhere anyway. All right, I'm going to take take that number out front. We're going to have x to the 6th. Go ahead and add these together. You're going to end up with y to the negative 7th, but we want to take it down into the denominator because we don't want to write our answer with negative exponents. So that's just going to become y to the 7th. Right, just making sure. And of course 125 over 14, that's not going to reduce down any because that's 5 times 5, that's 2 times 7. Right, nothing in common there. And okay, I think we're done. I hope. Oh, you know what? What's going on here? Um, 5 cubed. I'm getting this great big huge. Oh, it's what? To the 5th power. Oh my God. This is happening to me. I'm writing down the wrong stuff. To the 5th power. Well, I'm keeping you on your toes. I don't know. I'm thinking the problems are changing or something when I'm switching between screens. I mean, something weird is going on here. I'm telling you right now. Just seeing things or what? That is tripping me out. 5 to... okay. Man, I'm telling you, I think the problem's changing. Anyway, whatever 5 to the 5th is, I think the script is telling us. Wow, that is just tripping me out, man. I'm going to write 5 to the 5th here. What do we got? X to the 6th. That's going to end up making that a negative 5, so that's going to be a 5 down here. God. X to the 6th, y to the 5th, yeah. Okay. Anyway, 5 to the 5th must be that number there. Looks like it, anyway. Okay. And I've got to watch that stuff. We're over here at gotomath.com trying to wake up. Seems like. Alright, see you in the next problem. Go over to Algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And let's write the problem down correctly. Not having very good luck lately. Getting the problem down, written down correctly. We've got in parentheses negative x to the 4th over. I'm claiming these problems are changing when I'm flipping between screens or something. I don't know what's going on. It's tripping me out. I'm almost 100% sure I've got this written down. X cubed negative 20y negative x to the 4th 3y to the 5th. Okay, I am sure. Alright, same problem. I had some coffee earlier, but then I drank 500 milliliters of water. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. 3y to the 5th times negative 20y cubed times x cubed. Okay, so we multiply the numerators together. Let's take care of this stuff in parentheses though. We've got a negative. It's raised to an even power. That's just going to make that a positive 1. Okay, so that's just going to end up being x to the 4th power. Let's take a look at this. We've got a negative here, but it's raised to the 3rd power. So that's going to make that a negative 1. And we're going to take that negative and just get it out of the way and bring it out front. All right, but we have 20 raised to the 3rd. Oh my gosh, that's this huge number. And then we've got y cubed times x cubed. I should have wrote that over here. And then that's all over 3y to the 5th. I'm hoping, let's see, 4 times 5, 2s. Oh my gosh, yeah, 2s or 6s. Yeah, 3 will go into that. Almost certain. So we can reduce that big number down. Eat a big boy. 8,000. Wow, reduce down to 4,000. Okay. We've got this x to the 4th, x cubed. What can we do with that? Well, we can add the exponents. Bring that negative there. So we're going to end up with, something. Let's erase that. 3 goes into 20 raised to the 3rd power. It looks like 4,000 times. So we're going to go ahead and write that 4,000 right there. Then we'll write the x. 4, 5, 6, 7. Bam. Got that out of the way. Times, and then we've got 3 y's in the top, 5 y's in the denominator. I guess we'll go ahead and do that. Not 3 went into there, so I don't have to worry about that. What are we going to be left with down here? Y squared, looks like. And that looks like that's it. I don't see anything wrong with that. Alright, well, let's see if it agrees with what's going on up here. Well, wait a minute. Of course it doesn't. X is 7th, y squared. I'm getting a different number here. 7th, y squared. Getting a different number. Did I write 3 down there? I'm like starting to get dizzy. 20 to the 3rd. 20. Okay, well, we got a programming error somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I'll have to find it. Anyway, this is the correct answer, which you should get right here. I'm getting some different numbers here, but that's because there's a programming error, and I'll have to go in there and check that. Anyway, so there you are. We got it figured out. I need to go back to bed. Alright, I will, let's see, where we go to math.com. We are getting it ironed out, and I'll see you in the next problem. Okay, we're at go to math.com, finding our mistakes. We're over here at 4.1, and I know these are right because I looked at them before we decided to make this video. Perform the indicated operations and simplify. Look at all these, so I don't know what's going on. Let's see, 2x cubed over 9y to the 5th divided by, this time, x to the 6th over y to the 10th. Y to the 10th. Why not? So 2x cubed over 9y to the 5th divided by x to the 6th over y to the 10th. Okay, so this symbol here, divided by, what does this mean? Well, it means that what we're going to do here is flip this guy and then convert it into a multiplication problem. So 2x cubed 9y to the 5th times y to the 10th over x to the 6th. See that? We just flipped it. So don't flip out on me. All right. Okay, so then we can go ahead and multiply the tops together, then the bottom. Then we can group some stuff, take some stuff up into the numerator. We're going to do that. So we got x cubed. What in the world happened there? Turned into a question mark. X cubed times x to the negative 6th. And then we have y to the 10th, taking that y up, y to the negative 5. And then of course it's all over 9. Now what do we got? Well, we got 2x adding our exponents. 3 minus 6 is negative 3. And y, so 10 minus 5 is 5. So as you can see, sometimes I skip steps and sometimes we don't. I just want to make sure that you're understanding and getting this stuff. But in the future, we're just going to be doing a lot of skipping. We're going to skip to my Lou. Okay. There you go. 2y to the 5th over 9x cubed. Now the track record hadn't been so good in this section, so let's hope 2y to the 5th, 9x cubed. I did glance at these before I did them, making sure, right, that everything's working. Okay, so we're over here, gotomath.com, getting it worked out. See you in the next problem there, Chief. Alright, it's time to go to math and learn some lessons. Click on Algebra. We're over here multiplying and dividing, man. Right, so what's going on down there? What do we got going on? 4.2. You can drop by and say hi if you want. Drop me a line, man. Tell me what's up. Tell me if I helped you. And something. Negative 11x to the 15th over 15y to the 10th. I think I got a phone number there. You can give me a call on the web page. Call my Google Voice. Leave me a message. Tell me what's going on in your life. Maybe I can give you some advice. I tend to do a lot of that. Alright, well hopefully I've written everything down right. 11x to the 15th over y. 15y to the 10th divided by negative x 31st over y to the 21st. Okay, 24th. Oh my God. Oh my. Lions and tigers. Oh my. What do we got? We got to rewrite this thing. So that's just what we got to do. There are certain things in life you have to do. Y to the 10th. Y to the 24th. So we're going to flip this. We got a division here, so we're going to do a little like that. Before we do anything, multiplication, we'll turn that. Look, abracadabra. Look, we turned it into a dot. So we're going to flip this, and you know, while we're at it, no, we're just going to flip it. Let's not get crazy now. I was going to do something with that negative, but I think we'll just keep it there. Don't do anything crazy. Now what's the next order of business? You know what? I am going to do something right now with this. Look, we got a negative raised to an odd number. And that means, well, it means this. Right? Negative 1 raised to an odd number is a negative 1. That's right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this negative and bring it out front. Now we got a negative out here. And remember that a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay? So if you have a negative attitude, and then you have a negative attitude the next hour, maybe in the next following hour you'll have a positive attitude. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to think outside the box. Then we got y to the 24th. You know, I didn't learn until I took advanced calculus, which really analysis, how a negative times a negative is a positive. Isn't that crazy? I had to like take 30 hours of math just to learn why that's true. Man, I don't know. True story though. Y to the 10th. And then what's this going to be? This is going to be x to the 31st. X to the 31st. Yeah, you don't even want to know why. Okay. Take my word for it. At least not in this course. What are we doing? Oh. Okay, we're skipping steps. Here we go. You ready? We got, let's write this 15 down here. We got y, we got 24 y's in the numerator, 10 y's in the denominator. We're going to cancel 10 out. And if we cancel 10 out up here, what are we going to be left with? Y to the 14th, right? Y to the 14th, be 14 of them. And then we got 5 x's in the numerator. We got 31 in the denominator. So 31 minus 5, does anybody know what that is? Quick, write it down. And it is, oh my God, you're not even going to believe this number. This number is crazy. Because that number will help you win the contest. Okay, yes it will. That's a magic number there. What do we got going on here? I've already lost contact. We got 26 y. Yeah, I think we're done, aren't we? Are we finished with that? I forgot what we was even doing. Forgot where we was at. What did I have? 11y to the 14th and 15x to the 16th. Making sure. What? 16th? I'm going to shoot somebody. I'm just joking. What's going on here? Did these numbers change again? I've about had enough of this. 31, 24, 15, 10. Oh my God, are you kidding me? What is going on with that? What is going on with my brain? It is starting to scare me. I am serious. This stuff is... That magic number is no longer magic anymore. There's something wrong with my brain. It's really starting to make me wonder. That should be 16 there. Wow. I can't seem to write the damn thing down right. Okay, so there you go. We got it. We're getting it worked out. That's what's important. All right, see you in the next problem maybe. Okay, we're over here at gotomath.com, hanging out with the rabbit because he's got tricks up his sleeve to get you to pay attention. We're doing 5.1. What in the world is this? 6x to the 7th divided by 11x to the 17th. Let's not write 7 down, but 17. And y to the 8. Yes, it's an old trick. How do I get these students to pay attention? Well, they're really bored with the math, but they do like to find mistakes. Yeah. So then it becomes a goal of theirs to, I'm going to find that mistake the teacher made. Okay, what's going on here? We got really 6 over 1, if you want to know. And so what are we going to do with this guy? We're going to flip it, right? So we have 6x to the 7th times y to the 8th over 11x to the 17th. Okay. Now what's going on? Well, remember this is over 1 here. So what we'll want to do now is just multiply the numerators. And now we'll want to reduce. We will want to reduce. So we got 7x's in the numerator and 17 down in the denominator. We don't have any y's down here, so we're going to rewrite that. And that means that if we cancel 7 out in the numerator and 7 out in the denominator, we're going to be left with only 10 in the denominator. Bam! How do you like that? How do you like that? So we end up with 6y to the 8th over 11x to the 10th. Okay. So over here, gotomath.com with the rabbit. He's fixing to hide the egg. Alright, see you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at red G, blue O, and purple T. Did I say there was something secret hiding in there? I don't know. I'm not saying. What are we doing? 5.2? We just do this problem. What do we got? We got negative 9x to the 10th divided by 18x to the 23rd over negative y in parentheses raised to the 15th power. Got it. I hope I got it. Negative 9x to the 10th divided by 18x to the 23rd over negative y raised to the 15th power. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to flip this fraction and send it right off the diving board. Negative y to the 15th. It's like you just hear this off the wall stuff. And then x to the 23rd, which you're probably tired of hearing. So, you know, if I just talked about math constantly, I think we'd both fall asleep. Seriously. What do we got going on here? Well, we multiply the numerators. But you know what? Let's take a look at this. Now remember, how many times I got to write this for you? We got negative 1 raised to an odd number. That just becomes negative 1, right? If that's an even number, then it's positive 1. Okay. So we'll end up with a negative times a negative, and that's going to make that a positive. Over 18x to the 23rd. Now look at here. We got a 9 and an 18, so we know we're going to be able to cancel that out. And 9 goes into 18 2 times. Good. Okay, we have 10x's in the numerator, 23 in the denominator. By the way, we're just going to rewrite this. Can't reduce that down any. What in the world happened there? I don't even know. That's a 2x. Okay, we have 10x's, we have 23 in the denominator, so we can cancel some of those guys out. And 23 minus 10, I think we all know what that is. It's 22. At least it is this year anyway. Alright. And I believe we're done. We are finished. Well, not with this section anyway. We're done with that. What was the answer again? Y to the 15th over 2x to the 20. I'm getting a different answer. I'm going to cry. 10 and 23. And 23. What did I write? What? Did I really write that down? What is going... I think somebody is hacking my brain. I mean, what the heck? 10 minus 10... What? I'm sure you're like going, nah, we know better than that. You're not fooling me there, Chief. I put 13 down? Yeah. Like, you're not fooling me. You're just trying to get us to pay attention. Alright, we're over here at GoToMath.com at the red A and the two blue O's. And there's the treasure. Look, the treasure's between two blues. Alright, forget it. Don't worry about it. So we're over here at GoToMath.com. Getting it figured out. See you next problem. We're at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And we're looking at 6.1. 6 point. Let's try another one. Another one? What about that one? No? Okay, we'll do that one. So we got 4x. Scribble this down here. This is 6.1. So we have, be darn, 4x to the 7th divided by 20y cubed. Alright, so we're going to rewrite this problem into something more manageable so we can simplify if we need to. Alright, so we have 4 times x to the 7th divided by 20y to the 3rd. So we're going to rewrite this. This is also 4x to the 7th over 20y to the 3rd. And the only way we can simplify this down, none of our variables cancel out, but 4 does go into 4 one time, and it goes into 25 y cubed. There you go. X to the 7th over 5y cubed. Alright, so we'll go back over here. See what we got, make sure everything's good. X to the 7th over 5y cubed. Okay. So we're over here at GoToMath.com. We're working on it, and see you in the next problem. Okay, click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing, and we're doing 6.2. That's what we're looking at. So we got 5 times negative x quantity raised to the 10th power divided by 15 negative y quantity raised to the 17th. So 5 negative x raised to the 10th divided by 15 and negative y raised to the 17th. So we're going to rewrite this. This is 5. We'll go ahead and take care of those negatives here in a minute. Over 15 negative y raised to the 17th. Okay, let's take a look at these coefficients. We know that 5 goes into 5 one time and into 15 3. Okay, so we know we can reduce that. Now what about this here? This all goes back to, I've mentioned many times in the previous section. Right, we have a negative 1, a negative raised to an even number. That's just going to give you a 1, right? And then negative raised to an odd power like 17, that's going to produce a negative 1. Okay. So this one here, we can just rewrite that as x to the 10th. And of course, remember 5 goes into 5 one time, goes into 15 3. However, this one, right, falls under this particular situation, so we're going to take that negative and just bring it out front like that. Y to the 17th. Okay, so there you go. There you go. Let's see, x to the 10th over 3y to the 17th, bringing the negative out front. Alright, so we're over here at GoToMath.com. See you in the next problem. Hey, we're at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to something here, multiplying and dividing. That's what we're doing. And we're looking at 7.1. Okay, so let's get this written down here. X squared minus 4x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 15x plus 26. Alright. We got that? So we have x squared minus 4x plus 4 divided by x squared minus 15x plus 26. Now, by the order of operations, I need to put parentheses around both of these here. If not, you're going to get 4 divided by x squared. So that's the reason we do that. However, we're now going to rewrite it. X squared minus 4x plus 4 over x squared minus 15x plus 26. Okay. And alright, so let's try factoring the numerator and factoring the denominator and seeing what cancels out. So two numbers multiply together gives us 4, and when we add them we get negative 4. What about a minus 2 and a minus 2 there? Alright. So two numbers multiply together gives us positive 26. When we add them we get negative 15. Therefore, both these numbers must be a negative. Okay, they've got to both be negative. And when we look at 26, right, these are some numbers we got to look at. 1 and 26, we know that we add 1 and 26, we're definitely not going to get a 15. And then there's 2 and 13. Okay, and so that's going to be, looks like the situation, because 13 and 2 is 15. All right, we'll put a 2 here and a 13 there. Alright, so now we've got an x minus 2 in the numerator, 1 in the denominator. We can cancel those out, and so it looks like we're going to be left with an x minus 2 over an x minus 13. X minus 13. Okay. X minus 2 over an x minus 13. There you go. Alright, so we're over here at GoToMath.com. See you in the next problem. Hey, we're at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And we're looking at 7.2. 7.2. So we're writing this down so we will remember what it is. We go to the whiteboard. Alright, we got it. Hopefully we wrote it down correctly. Okay. So we got negative x, quantity squared, minus 10x plus 25. Remember, we want to put a parentheses around all that, stating that we need to do this stuff that's in parentheses. All right. X cubed minus 16x plus 55x. Okay. Alright. This particular case here, I'm just going to go ahead and take care of this. This is negative x quantity squared, so because this is an even number, this negative is just going to disappear. Right. And that's going to be all over. And you notice there's an x in each one of these terms, so I'm going to factor an x out. Factor out an x, we'll be left with x squared minus 16 is that squared? Yes, it is. It's like looking at that going, something's not right. There's a square there. And then plus 55. Okay, I just didn't write it down on my paper. There you go. Alright, so let's go ahead and factor this. We've got two terms starting with an x. So we need two numbers multiplied together gives us 25. When we add them, we get negative 10. Well, what about a minus 5 and a minus 5, right? Negative 5 is positive 25, and then when we add them, we get negative 10. So that wasn't too bad. Go ahead and rewrite that x. And what do we got going on here? So two numbers, 55, but we get 16. What about 11 and 5? Or we'll write 5 and 11 here. Right, that's going to be 55, and so we need to make that a minus and a minus also. Alright, now we just cancel out some stuff. We got x minus 5 in the top, 1 in the bottom. We can get rid of that, and therefore we're going to be left with x minus 5 over. And we can go ahead and distribute this x across. So we have x squared minus 11x. X squared minus 11x. Yep, looks like that's it. Okay, so we're over here at gotomath.com getting it figured out. See you in the next problem. Hey, so we're here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And I believe we're doing 8.1. Boy, this stuff's starting to get hairy now. Hairy, scary. We got x to the 4th plus 11x cubed over y to the 10th plus 13y to the 9th. X plus 21 6y plus 78. Okay, so we got a contest going on Pi Day 314 coming up here, and shortly this is going to be our first annual contest here on this website, my YouTube channel, I guess is what I should say. And it's going to be kind of interesting. First person who can decipher the message wins a little cash. I mean, there's got to be some kind of incentive for it. So I'm going to be kind of really interested on how long it takes. Now I have to keep in mind that I've got people from all over the world who goes to my YouTube channel. So we're not going to make it easy. But you will have to think outside the box. 121. And it's not going to be like a typical math problem. And actually the math involved is, I think a third grader can figure it out. Let's see. 6y plus 28. 6y plus 78. Did I say 28? I don't know what I said. Okay. X to the 4th, 11x cubed, y to the 10th, 13y to, I just want to make sure that y to the 10th plus 13, y to the 9th. Make darn sure that everything's written down correctly. 11x plus 121 and 6y plus 78. Got it. Okay. So what we're going to do here is well, we're going to do this. I can factor out an x, and I think I'm going to here. This top one. We always factor the one out that's got the smallest exponent. So we factor out that x cubed. That's going to leave us with an x plus 11 over. And then this one here we can factor out a y to the 9th. And that's going to leave us with a y plus 13. Okay. Now, we're going to convert this into multiplication by just flipping this fraction here. Okay. And while I'm doing that, I think I'm going to, let's see, 6 goes into 78. How many times? I got to turn on the light so I can see something. 13. 6 goes into 78, 13. Over here yawning. So y plus 13, right, over. So we flip this. We put the denominator up here in the numerator. And then, of course, 11 goes into 121 11 times. So we're going to factor out that 11. And that's going to give us x plus 11. X plus 11. Now look what's going on here. We got x plus 11s can cancel out. We got y plus 13s can cancel out. And that just makes it a whole lot more convenient, doesn't it? And, well, we still got the 6 and 11, so we're going to bring this over. So we got 6x, let's see, 6x cubed, it looks like, over 11y cubed. So all that reduced down to that. Wow. Isn't that amazing? 6x cubed over 11y to the 9th. To the 9th. Yes, to the 9th. Huh. How did that slip by? Well, we got it worked out anyway. That's supposed to be a 9 there. Okay. Hopefully you caught that. I'm sure you probably did. Alright, so we're over here at gotomath.com. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And we're looking at 8.2. Yikes. What is that? We get any better numbers? How about those numbers? Alright, so I want to make sure we write this thing down right. X squared plus 24x plus 144 over x squared plus 18x plus 81 divided by x squared plus 12x, and that's x squared plus 9x. Okay. Man, I need some Java. X squared plus 24x plus 144 over a crooked line, x squared plus 18x, and then plus 81. Got it? Right, divided by x squared plus 12x, and that's all over x squared plus 9. Ooh, 9x. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to factor this numerator here. We can do that. So two numbers multiplied together gives us 144. When we add them, we get we get 24. How about 12 and 12? That's pretty obvious, isn't it? You should have caught on or catching on to that by now, as many of these we've done in previous sections. All right. And then this particular one here, let's see, 9 and 9, I believe. 9 and 9, right? 9 times 9 is 81. When we add them, we get 18. Times, we're going to do the conversion here. Flip. We're going to flip, but you know what? We're going to go ahead and factor while we're at it. So we can pull an x out, and we'll be left with x plus 9 over, and then we can pull an x out down there, and we got x plus 12. So remember, we flipped the fraction. We got a division sign. We're going to flip this, make it multiplication, okay? Now let's see, what can we do here? Those x's can cancel out. We got an x plus 12 up here, one down there. Those cancel. We got an x plus 9, x plus 9, and it looks like we're just going to be left with an x plus 12 over x plus 9. Yeah, that's what it's looking like to me. An x plus 12 over x plus 9. There you go. Alright, we are moving along. We're over here at gotomath.com. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And let's take a look at 9.1. What do we have going on here? We've got x squared minus 9 over x squared minus 25 divided by x squared plus 15x plus 36 over x squared plus 15x plus 50. Okay. Alright. Man, hope I'm not making you tired. I need to go for a 30-mile run this morning or something. Alright, so we got divided by, we got x squared. So hopefully you're working this thing out. Getting it worked out at this point before I do. Plus 36, that's all over x squared plus 15x plus 50. Alright, so let's go ahead. We got the difference of two squares here. The difference of two squares. So you should have been able to look at that and go, hey, that's the difference of two squares. Right, and we'd write it like that to factor this guy. And then the denominator is also the difference of two squares. So we're kind of starting to skip all the intermediate steps now, folks. Alright. So we make this multiplication and we flip this fraction. But let's go ahead and factor that denominator while we're doing it. So two numbers multiplied together gives us 50. When we add them, we get 15. What the heck is that? 25 and 2? No. 10 and 5. 10 and 5. Right, 5 times 10 is 50, and when we add them we get 15. All right. Now we got the top one here. So two numbers multiplied gives us 36, and we add them we get 15. What about let's see, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 12. Right, 3 times 12 is 36, and when we add it we get 15. Now let's do some canceling. We got, what do we got? Let's look at this one here. X minus 3. No, don't have an X. We got an X plus 3 here and one down here. So those will cancel out. X plus 5, that's going to cancel out. And I believe that's it. That is it. So it looks like we're going to be left with an X minus 3 and an X plus 10. Now, I don't believe we leave our stuff in factored form, and then X minus 5, right, times X plus 12. Yeah, we're not going to be leaving our answers in factored form here. Okay, so we're going to end up with X squared. 10X minus 3X is 7X, and minus 30. Multiplying those together. So on this one here, we're going to have a 12 minus 5 is 7x. Yeah. And then minus 60. Right? Hopefully I got that right. I don't know. I don't feel like I do, but find out. X squared plus 7x minus 30. X squared plus 7x minus 60. Yeah. Alright. Okay, so we're over here, gotomath.com, working it out. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're here at gotomath.com. Click on the algebra. Excuse me. Multiplying and dividing. We're doing 9.2. 9.2. Looks lovely. X squared plus 16x plus 48. That's all over x squared plus 15x plus 50 divided by x squared minus 16 over x squared minus 25. Looks a lot like the last problem. See how it works out, I guess. Hopefully it's going to work out. So x squared plus 16x plus 48 over x squared plus 15x plus 50 divided by x squared minus 16 over x squared minus 25. So let's go ahead and factor this one here, and we'll just do that. Starting here, two numbers multiplied together gives 48, and we add them, we get 16. Well, what about, let's see, we got 2 and 24. That's not going to work. Okay, let me just keep those written there. Let's see, 24. 6 times 8. 6 and 8. 6 and 8 is definitely not 16. This is kind of scaring me now. Let's see, that's 8 and 3. 16 and 3? No. Did I write that problem down right? X squared plus 16x plus 48. I got a feeling there's a 12 involved here. I know 2 times 12. Yeah. Right? 24, okay, 4 and 12. 4. Right, that's going to be 48, and then we add them, we get 16. Wow, that took way too much time. Way too much. Alright, what about this one here? We got 50, 25 and 2? No. What about 10 and 5? 10 and 5? 10 and 5. There we go. Right, so we're going to convert that to multiplication, but we're going to flip these guys. Now, this is the difference of squares down here in the denominator. And we got the difference of squares in the numerator, but we're going to write it down in the denominator. Got to flip that sucker. Alright, now it's time to cancel. X plus 4. We got an X plus 4. Get rid of that and that one. What about an X plus 12? No, it doesn't look like it. X minus 5? No. X plus 5, yes. Right there. Okay, so we end up with an X plus 12. We got a little bit of stuff to cancel out. And then in times an X minus 5 here. And that's all over. X plus 10, and then an X minus 4. Got it. So we're going to go ahead and multiply these things back out again. So see, it's going to be negative 5x plus that is, what is that, 7x minus 60, is that right? 12 minus 5 is 7. Yes. This reminded me of the last problem. And what are we going to have here? 6x minus 40. If everything works out here. Gotta hold my breath. X squared plus 7x minus 60 over x squared plus 6x minus 40. Okay, looks good. Alright, I just got 2 more problems. Then I can go back to bed. Okay, so we're over here at GoToMath.com, getting it worked out. See you in the next problem, Chief. Alright, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing. And the last section, which is always going to be some funky problem. The funky Cole Medina. Can we get some decent numbers here? Whoa, I need to. That is terrible. I have no idea. We'll work with them. Oh my God. What are they doing this to me? X cubed minus 1000 over x squared plus 10x plus 100 divided by 12x squared minus 1200 x squared plus 5x minus 50. Okay. I think I got everything written down correctly. Hope so. I hope so. Now, this was x cubed minus 1,000. And that looks like the difference of cubes, and I believe that's going to be, and we're going to write it like that. Instead of writing 1,000 here, I'm going to go ahead and write 10 cubed. How's that? Over, save us a little time. And then we got x squared plus 10x plus 100 divided by, and then up here we're going to have 12x squared minus 1200 over x squared plus 5x minus 50. Alright, well, let's go ahead and factor this guy here. So we got x minus 10. Got to remember how to factor the difference of two cubes. So this will be x squared. Now remember, we're going to write the opposite sign here. And then we write 10x plus 10 squared, which is 100. And that's going to be all over a coincidence. Now, is that a coincidence or what? I mean, these are both the same. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to convert that to multiplication by flipping this. And so we end up with x squared plus 5x minus 50. Now, on this one here, I'm going to factor out that 12 because I just feel like that's what needs to be done here. That's going to leave us with an x minus 100. Whoops, that should be an x squared minus 100. Right? 100 times 12 is 1200. Okay. However, this can be factored now to x minus 10 times x plus 10. Okay, see that? Now, let's go through and do some canceling here. We know that these guys will cancel out. And you know what? Can't do any canceling yet. How about we do this? We're going to factor this and just write it right above here. Two numbers multiplied together gives us negative 50, and we add them, we get 5. What about 5 and 10? 5 and 10, and we're going to make this the positive, and that's going to be the negative. Okay. Alright, let's get back to canceling here. So this term and this term is what we're looking at. I should have done that in different colors. We canceled these out. We have an x minus 10 up here in the numerator. To see if one will cancel out, we got to look down here in the denominator, and there is one. It's gone. And so we need to go ahead and cancel that out, don't we? Wow, we're not left with anything over here. What's going on over here? It looks like we're left with an x minus 5 and x plus 10 over, x plus 10's cancel out. Okay. So I hope you're hanging in there on this one. I know it's hard to read. Looks like the only thing we're left with is an x minus 5 and it's over 12. That's it. That's what it looks to me like anyway. Yep, x minus 5 over 12. There you go. Alright, we're over here at GoToMath.com, getting it worked out. See you in the next problem. Okay, we're over here at GoToMath.com. Click on the algebra. Let's go down to multiplying and dividing rational expressions. And we're going to be looking at 10.2, and then we're going to be done with this trash. Whoa, what is all? We got y's now. Can we get some better numbers? My God. You know what? We'll just stick with those. How's that? Alright. Always got to be a challenge at the end. Plus 1,000 over. I'm just glad to be done with this problem. done with this section. Moving on, I'm always happy to move on to the next section. You know, this thing about this particular course, we just work with, for the most part, a bunch of mechanics. It's Mike and the Mechanics. I never did really like their music. Mike and the Mechanics. Yeah, I mean, that's what this is called. We're just working mechanics here. Okay, we got making sure I wrote everything down right. X squared, 10x 100, 15x squared y, minus 1500y, and nah. That's a 40. I think I wrote a 90. She wrote a 45. Okay. Negative x cubed plus. Now, that was supposed to be 1000, but we know that 10 cubed is 1000, right? So I'm going to write it like that. How do you like those apples? Over x squared. Am I done with this problem yet? Because I feel like I need to be done like right now. Oh man. 15 minus 1500 y 6. Alright, let's take a look at this. We got negative, what kind of negative? That's terrible. Now that I think about it. I don't know, man, this is a really tricky problem here or what? I'm going to factor out, well, I mean, when we do this, we're going to have a negative x cubed, but then I'm going to factor that negative out for some reason. That's going to leave us with an x cubed plus 10 cubed. Huh. I got bad feelings about this problem. Times, that's going to be positive. And so we're going to have x squared plus 6x minus 40 over. Now I can factor out a 15 and a y. Right, and we're going to do that. So we're left with an x squared minus 100. Which ends up being the difference of two squares. This up here is what's got me going. Because something's fishy in St. Louis on this problem. Because this here is going to end up being x plus 10. And then we're going to have x squared minus 10x and then plus 100, but that's not going to, of course we got this negative out here. Wait a minute. If I factored the negative out, that makes that a negative. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right? Yeah, because that's a negative x, and okay, I feel a whole lot better now. Okay, I was overlooking that. Overlooking. So that's going to make that a minus, and then that's going to make that a plus. Got it. I feel a whole lot better. X plus 100. Okay. Now, factoring the numerator, we got two numbers, gives us 40. When we add them, we get 6. And let's see, 10 and 4. 10 and 4. 10 and 4, right? That's going to give us negative 40. When we add them, we get positive 6. Good. And then, of course, we got the 15y down here. We got x minus 10 times x plus 10. Right? This is the difference of two squares, and now we can go through and do some canceling. Well, we know that's gone. X minus 10, we can get rid of that x minus 10 there. And what are we left with? Oh, get rid of those two. Now, we got this negative out front. So, let's not forget that. We're going to be left with, it looks like, an x minus 4 over 15y. Now, more than likely, I don't know. We're going to find out if I actually multiplied that negative back inside, which would make that a 4 minus x over the top, or if I just left it out. I can't remember. We're going to find out. No, I left it out front. So x minus 4 over 15y. That's 4 over 15y, yeah. Okay, well, that ends this section for now. We're over here, go to math.com. See you in the next section.